Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to episode recap number 76. Today we're going to be covering ESPN Baseball Tonight, Jeopardy, the Sports Edition, Pirates of Dark Water, FIFA Soccer, and Relief Pitcher. 2 baseball games and a soccer game. Oh, and then a sports-related freaking trivia game. It was a rough set of 5 games, but let's get started. ESPN Tonight Baseball. I mean, it looked okay. But it did not play particularly well. The control was a little janky in my opinion, very loose. It was also very slow paced. I don't know, it felt off is the best way to put it. Like it looked okay, and look right there, the pitcher, man. The amount of frames they put in their animations is superb, but the fielding's done like that. And it's very difficult. I didn't care for it. No music, of course. Thumbs down. There are better baseball games. I've played so many baseball games at this point. There are better ones. That's just all I got on that nonsense. Next up, Jeopardy, the Sports Edition. Gee, so Joey and I have already played Jeopardy. We got Jeopardy Sports Edition here. I got Jeopardy Deluxe Edition coming up on the list soon. So it's Jeopardy. Trivia games where you have to actually enter an answer don't feel good to me, just because of how you have to enter the information. You know, you've got a line of your alphabet and your numericals, and you have to just scroll back and forth, and it's a time limit thing, and it just always feels really off. This one looks significantly better than the original Jeopardy that we played, because I think that was a port of like the NES version or a DOS version maybe. So they've upgraded the graphics in this. Your character sprites are sports people. I don't know if they're actually based off of famous sports people or not. Again, no music in this. It has the Jeopardy tune like at the beginning, but it stops pretty early in. Another weird thing is like Alex Trebek was like, the answer is... And then eventually, like, it would do the animation, or it would show him on screen, but it was no longer saying it. It only did it the first handful of times. So I don't know if that's set in the game or if it's just something wrong with the ROM. Don't play a trivia game. I mean, unless you're a die-hard Jeopardy fan and you know a lot about sports in the mid-90s, it's not worth it. That's a thumbs down. The Pirates of Dark Water. Louie, actually, my youngest son, joined me and we played this. It is a scrolling beat-em-up based on a cartoon from the mid-90s that got canceled, I think, after its 2nd season. So the idea is you're supposed to find these 13 treasures throughout the world to save it. In the cartoon show, they only ever got to, like, the 4th treasure at the end of the 2nd season, and then it got canceled off. It's functionally a pretty decent beat-em-up game. Like, it looks good. The animations are all right. The characters repeat, obviously. I mean, every beat-em-up does that. The backgrounds were nice. The music was okay. The game overall, it was fun. You have a couple different attacks. You have like a powerful attack and a regular attack, and you got to jump, and you can do a bunch of special. You can do a bunch of attacks with your jump. The girl, I think, can double jump. You have a special attack, which of course drains health if you actually connect. Only if you connect, though. So if you miss, it doesn't hurt you. You grab people just by walking into them, and then you get another couple of attacks. You can either throw them or just bash their face into your knee or punch them a bunch of times. It was actually a really fun game, and Louie and I enjoyed it. We didn't finish it. We probably only got about a quarter of the way through it, would be my guess. And at one point, we soft-locked it somehow. The screen wouldn't advance, and we ended up having to restart. And that was, I don't know, we were in like the 2nd level when that happened, but still is... 15 minutes of progress down the tubes. So, good game. Thumbs up. I love a beat 'em up. I think we all know that by now. So, that one's worth looking up, I think. Next up, FIFA International Soccer. This game, I think, looked okay. The sound, lack of music, you get a lot of crowd cheering. What I found interesting was how much it sounded like a ball being kicked. I'm pretty sure it's like... I feel like they actually recorded someone kicking a ball and then just imported the sound into the game, because it really sounds like the hollow thud of a soccer ball being kicked. It was an isometric view, And one of the things that Joey and I have noticed over the years with isometric view sports games is that when you're running in certain directions, it feels like your sprite is moving very slow. And I don't know if that's like a scaling thing or what. And this game had that issue. Like you're running, and sometimes it feels like you're moving really fast, and sometimes, you're trying to run fast, but your dude just doesn't feel like he's moving at all. He moves at a crawl. The other thing is, when you see up at the top left, there's a power bar, and every time you want to pass the ball, kick the ball, just lob it, or try and hit a goal, kick a goal, you have to hold the button to build up your power on how strong that is. And it's a very difficult balance to master. I feel like the game probably would have done better if it had just reserved that for attempting to kick a goal, because it's very difficult to accurately pass the ball to your teammates. And I think if the passing was done a little bit more behind the scenes, like you just push the button and it hit it to your teammate without issue, I think it would have been a better game for that. It did have a button that switched you to the closest player to the ball, thankfully. Otherwise, it was a completely average soccer game, really. I mean, it wasn't bad. I think if Joey and I had played it together, it would have been a good time. I still gave it a thumbs down. We have played at least one soccer game, or I feel like it was maybe a year in, that we both liked, that had really good animations, and it was a horizontal soccer match, which I think is what I enjoyed most about it, because the vertical ones don't seem like you have enough screen space, and the isometric games, like I said, they move fun. Movement feels funny. So thumbs down on FIFA International Soccer. No one's real shocked at that result. Final up, we got Relief Pitcher. This is another baseball game, and it soft locked on me once early into the first game, like at the bottom of the first inning. I don't know what happened. The ball was hit, it got caught, thrown back to like the first baseman, then thrown to the pitcher, and then that's kind of where it froze. Like the next batter never came out. But we restarted. I did get through an entire game. It was a good time, actually. So the fielding, as you can see there, is done mostly automatically for you. If the dude's relatively near it, he will move towards it and catch it. Otherwise, you do have to kind of direct your guy at some point, like if it gets between players. There are enough frames of animation. I think that the pitching and the batting look pretty decent. There's a nice on-screen layout right there for the batter to steal a base or get a lead off or whatever. But this game is really about the pitching. And so when you start the game, you set up your pitcher. Do you want a right-handed pitcher, left-handed pitcher? What do you want his special to be? Do you want him to be a side thrower or an overhand thrower? And it's very focused on that concept. But it controlled well, I felt. And in the end, actually, I gave it a thumbs up because it looked decent. It sounded okay. There was, again, no music, but whatever. We're used to that in sports games at this point. But really, the reason I thumbed up it is because it played okay. Like, at no point while I was playing this did I think to myself, like, oh, I don't want to be playing this. It controls like garbage. Because it really didn't. It controlled well enough to enjoy. And with a second player, I'm sure that Joey and I, if we'd played this together, would have, enjoyed our time with it. It's a decent enough game, and I think if you're going to look for a good baseball game, I feel like this one's not the worst one to go get. I feel like there are better. I think my favorite at the moment, I'd have to go look at my list. I think I probably was like Roger Clemens baseball or something like that, I think. And that one with the fielding was completely done for you, which was awesome. One of the reasons I liked it so much was not trying to control the outfielders. So, yeah, this one's not terrible. So 2 thumbs up out of the current set of 5. And, yeah, it could be totally worse. That's it. So thanks, guys, for sticking with the channel over all these years. Jesus, we're on game, 76 times 5, we're up in the high 300s, running up towards game 400 in the set. And there are only 720 games, so maybe only another, 2 years of this. but we appreciate y'all. We'll see you guys later. Have a good one.